health advocates are heading to the Supreme Court to question the legality of returning PhilHealth's 89.9 billion pesos of unused funds to the National Treasury. Here's a report.
89.9 billion pesos. That's the unused funds of PhilHealth for the past few years. The Finance Department released a department circular ordering PhilHealth to return these funds to the Bureau of the Treasury. DOF said this large amount of money can be used for unprogrammed appropriations. Health reform advocate Tony Liachon questioned this move and insisted it is a violation of the Universal Healthcare Law. He said the unused funds can be utilized in expanding the benefits offered by the state health insurer or lowering the premium contribution of its members.
Ang daming magagawa. I think it's unconstitutional, it's immoral, it's illegal.
Senator J.V. Ejercito also questioned the fund transfer. The author of the Universal Healthcare Law said the funds for health programs should be used for health-related projects. In an interview with Radyo 5, PhilHealth spokesperson Ray Balenya said the return of the funds won't affect the agency's operations and offered benefits.
May matitira po sa atin na sapat para po una sa ating operations, ikalawa para pondohan lahat po ng ating nasa benefit plans na nagsimula po ng 2023. So ibig sabihin ay sapat po, no? We are still in a strong financial position to operate at ipatupad lahat ng ipinangako nating benefit enhancement sa mga tao.
Balenya also said the unused budget did not come from the members' contributions. The Finance Department explained that using excess funds for other projects is better than borrowing money or increasing taxes. Former Finance Undersecretary Cielo Magdo, however, opposed her former agency. In an interview with Storycon, Magdo said DOF's circular is illegal.
From our perspective, it's illegal because what essentially they're doing with this provision is to amend all the charters, all these laws that created the GOCCs. Kasi malinaw sa charter ng PhilHealth at dun sa ating Universal Healthcare Law, malinaw doon na sinasabi na kung pondo ang PhilHealth, kung may reserve fund siya, dalawa lang ang maaaring paggamitan nito. Either palakihin yung scope ng serbisyo ng mga mamayan, yung mga benepisyo na nakukuha natin, o ibaba yung premium ng taong bayan.
Liachon and the Philippine Medical Association are planning to question the legality of the move before the Supreme Court.
Pera to para sa kalusugan ng bawat mamamayan. So hindi dapat natin itong i-give away lang basta-basta. This is bigger and worse than the Pharmally. Kasi 90 billion ito eh. So diba, at saka ito, savings ito, pera ng bayan, hindi ba mas nakakasakit ng damdamin?
For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Now to tell us more about this, we have health reform advocate Dr. Tony Liachon.
Good morning, Doc. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Angelo, Jello, and Angela.
That's right, Doc.
Sorry.
Sige, Doc, let's get right to it po. Kailan po ang targeted date for the filing ng petition sa Supreme Court?
Well, we had a meeting 2 nights ago, and perhaps after the SONA, we'll have a press con tomorrow with the medical organization led by the Philippine Medical Association and the Philippine College of Physicians. And immediately after the SONA, there will be a civil society meeting, and perhaps that will be the time that we will file the case. We're trying to gather all the data so that we can have a very nice, comprehensive I would say, legal document that will be presented to the Supreme Court. I think it's important that we protect the PhilHealth funds because this is vital for the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Law.
Right. Doc, sino-sino po kayong mga magfa-file ng petition sa Supreme Court regarding this case?
Well, the primary is the Philippine Medical Association representing all the doctors in the Philippines. Plus other civil society groups. Mainly from the civil society organizations, yung mga nag-umpisa ng Syntax in 2012, other reformists, mga professors, economists, no? It's a broad alliance kasi they feel really the need that we need to object to this kind of measure of diverting the PhilHealth unused funds to unprogrammed appropriations of the government.
Doc, sabihin ko lang po itong sinabi, of course, ng PhilHealth regarding this issue, and they're standing by it na hindi naman daw po maapektuhan yung financial stability at within the legal bounds naman din po yung mga gagawin nilang mga transfer of funds pabalik po sa National Treasury. Your thoughts on that?
Well, ang issue ay inefficient ang kanilang serbisyo kasi yung excess funds at saka savings talaga natin, dapat talagang isasagad natin kasi kulang yung benepisyong natatanggap natin sa PhilHealth. Pangalawa, napakataas ng premium na binabayaran natin. So, ibig sabihin, yung savings na yan, illegal yan kasi it violates the Universal Healthcare Act na kung may savings ka, dapat ilaan mo sa pag-expand ng benefits at to reduce ang ating premiums. At hindi mo pwede siyang isole kasi lagak lang siya yung funds na earmark ng PhilHealth para lang sa kalusugan ng bayan at hindi sa ibang proyekto na, let's say, DPWH and other programs or pet projects of lawmakers.
Actually, Doc, ang sinasabi nga din nila, hindi naman daw po kasi from the contribution ng mga members itong budget, yung excess na pera na ito na itatransfer back to the National Treasury. Sabi daw po nila, ito ay from the subsidies ng gobyerno, which is, kayo na lang po mag-explain yan, Doc.
With due respect to them, it doesn't matter whether kung saan man nanggagaling yung pondo. Through the years, humanap kami ng mga pondo para tumaas ang PhilHealth natin, para yung out-of-pocket expenses natin ay mabawasan. Kasi ang gastos ng bawat Pilipino pag na-hospital ay 60%. Eh gusto natin, pag dating ng araw, ay 10% lang ang gagastusin natin. Ngayon, nagkaroon ka ng 90 billion na savings. Eh ba't mo naman ipamimigay? Hindi natin na-expand. Kunyari na heart attack ka, di yung angiogram, pwede na nating mailibre. Na stroke ka, ang makukuha mo lang na case rate, let's say 30,000, maging 100,000. Pati chemotherapy drug. Right. So ang dami natin, pwede tayo magkaroon ng outpatient PhilHealth HMO card. Para sa ganon, hindi naman tayo maghihirap sa mamahal na mga laboratory diagnostic procedures. These are things na pwede na lang isipan. Ba't nila bigla na lang ibibigay sa atin yun? Binayaran natin the taxpayers' money.
Yes. Pero Doc, ang sabi rin kasi po ng PhilHealth that they've already daw improved yung mga scope at saka yung amounts ng mga benefit packages. Sa tingin nyo pa, yung based on what you said, ano pa ang mga areas or mga sakit na kailangan natin dagdagan ng pondo or mas pagandahin pa natin yung coverage?
Alam mo, dapat bigyan natin ng coverage yung coronary artery disease. Ang dami namamatay sa heart attack. Pag na-admit sa emergency room, umaatras kasi ang mahal ng angiogram 50,000. Magkano stent? Kukonti lang. Yan ang number 1 killer disease in the country. Number 2, ang dami may cancer ngayon. Ang mahal-mahal ng mga MRI scan. Ang mahal-mahal po ng mga gamot sa cancer. Ba't naman natin ibibigay lang yun? Ang dami na i-stroke. Isang araw ka lang sa private hospital, sa ICU, na ventilator, 100,000 per day. Ang dami natin matutulungan pagka ganun. And then, use also preventive health programs na outpatient.
Yes.
Using yung mga cards na pwede natin gamitin and make PhilHealth just like any private HMO card so that the poorest of the poor hindi mangingimi pumunta ng hospital because they have the PhilHealth outpatient HMO card. Ang dami natin magagawa sa mga 90 billion na yan.
Actually, Doc, until now, we are seeing a lot of our kababayans na talagang pumipila day in, day out sa mga government offices para humingi ng tulong pinansyal para sa kanilang pagpapagamot o pagpapagamot ng kanilang mga kamag-anak, no? So, I guess talagang kulang na kulang pa yung naibibigay sa kanila. And I was wondering, Doc, din po, ano pa po ba yung mga, paano nyo po ba nalaman, na meron pong ganitong ginagawang pag-transfer, na meron po palang excess fund ng PhilHealth na itatransfer po na directed by the Department of Finance?
Sa Appropriations Committee meeting, si Congressman Estela Quimbo, napansin niya 2021, may sobra ng 20 billion and then 2022-23, total niya 89.9. Na nagulat ang lahat kasi ang laki ng taas ng premium and yet meron palang excess funds at bakit nag-i-increase pa ng 4 to 5%. So doon nagkaalaman na. So yung mga matitinik na economists, tiningnan na talaga. Yun pala, silently, ang Department of Health nag-issue pa na ng Circular 003, Pebrero pa, ano na ngayon, July. So silently, nagawa sila ng resolution na yan, hindi pa na alam sa taong bayan. At saka dapat yan, may oversight committee kung saan pumupunta yung pera. Basta lang, nag-resolution ng PhilHealth at bigla na lang nilipat yun sa Department of Finance. Walang pinag-iba yan sa Parmali na nilipat ng Department of Health sa DBM. During the time, di ba? 42 billion. Ito, mas malagim ito. 90 billion to. Ililipat mo sa Department of Finance, sa Treasury, para ondohan ang hindi pa naiisip na programa. Samantalang ang dami natin naiisip na programa para sa kalusugan.
Doc, lastly, mabilis lang po. Meron po ba kayong datos ng mga ospital na until now po at saka mga doktor na hindi pa rin po nababayaran ng PhilHealth?
Sa Philippine Hospital Association ng Pilipinas, marami po dati akong PhilHealth Director from 2016 to 2019. Ang dami pong arrears po ng PhilHealth. So, milyon-milyon ang hindi nababayaran nila at nakakaawa naman po sila at ang iba nalulugi na po. Yan ho ang dapat natin tuunan ng pansin ngayon na dapat tututulan to bawat Filipino citizen nakatutok dito. Kasi nagbabayad po tayo dyan, kinakalta sa sweldo nyo. Yun pala, pinamimigay lang ang pera natin.
Alright, on that note, siguro balikan ka po namin ulit, Doc Tony, pagkatapos nyo po or kung pang magfa-file na po kayo ng inyong
to get updates.
Opo. For the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. That was Dr. Tony Liachon.